Welcome back to Kiesel News, everybody. To start off today, Metaphor Refantasio, the new game from the Persona developers, not just Atlas, even the team members from the original games, they have unveiled some new details on Metaphor, and one of them is that the calendar system from the Persona series is going to be part of the game. I don't know how to feel about this, as I do love the calendar system in Persona, but I feel like that's what makes it Persona, right? So the game should do as much as it can to differentiate itself. But at the same time, this is like the only thing that it's taking directly from Persona. The rest is from SMT. So if anything, it's just making Metaphor like a seemingly better version of Persona and SMT combined, even though I'm sure Persona 6 will blow even Metaphor out of the water. Next up, I want to talk about Jerry Seinfeld saying how film doesn't have as much of an impact as it did. And I think he is right, obviously, but I feel like everyone is saying this now. People have been saying it's because there's no good movies coming out, but that's not the case. A good movie coming out that I just heard about that has a good synopsis. It has Russell Crowe, it's called The Exorcism, and it follows an actor who starts to mentally unravel as he's filming a role. And that just seems very, very interesting. What an interesting premise, where you basically morph into the character that you're acting as. Despite me saying it's good, I'm not gonna go see it just because it's easier to wait when something's on streaming. That's all it is. It's not because people don't like movies anymore. It's just, why would you waste your time going to the theater if the movie isn't gonna be a super big event that everybody's gonna be talking about when you could just watch it from the comfort of your home? People are still watching movies and talking about them. I guarantee you there'll be people talking about this movie, but it'll just be kept to a smaller niche on social media instead of recommending it to a friend in person because they don't know if they would like it. And I mean, if Jerry wants people to talk about his movie and go see it at a theater, then maybe don't release your new Pop-Tarts movie exclusively on Netflix on its day of release. Next up, we have Anna Gunn stating that she's been recently receiving more apologies, if you will, for how people have been perceiving Skylar when they originally watched Breaking Bad. This is obviously a good thing, since it means she's not getting harassed for how a character was written, but it also makes you wonder what took so long for this to happen. I mean, as soon as you rewatch the show for the second time, if you weren't already on Skylar's side, you should at least be on her side a little bit more. Next up, the Watcher team are somewhat fixing their decision to move all their content to a streaming service a la Rooster Teeth, now only doing so as 1 month early access before putting them on YouTube, which I feel is a better move, but it's still Rooster Teeth-like, as Rooster Teeth made their content for free as well on YouTube, but they still had their first membership, and that was only like a week early at most. This is a month. I still stand by the opinion that I don't think it's a smart move to do that, but it's better than nothing, and they'll still at least get some traffic outside of their streaming service this way. Next up, a new Deadpool 3 trailer has dropped, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm not very excited still. It still hasn't excited me. Hasn't blown my pants off yet. Because we already knew Wolverine was going to be in the movie. And that's all that the trailers have really revealed. I'm not really complaining though. Because usually all Marvel trailers do now is they show all the surprises in the trailer. Though the last time I can think they didn't do that was when they didn't reveal Toby and Andrew in No Way Home. Like the Doctor Strange trailer, they revealed Professor X essentially, and they didn't reveal all of the Illuminati, but it's because they didn't play a huge role in the movie. This, on the other hand, we know is going to be a big multiverse movie, and they're deliberately keeping stuff under wraps. So I can respect that at least about the trailer. And the fact that we finally have multiple F-bombs. Alright, next up, Fortnite has gone soft. They are basically making a new toggle where you can turn off certain emotes that some people may deem as offensive. According to them, anyway. I don't know who the fuck is deeming Fortnite emotes as too offensive. That seems too much even for the most wimpiest of people out there. The only one I could kinda see some wimpy snowflakes getting mad at is Take the L. But the other ones have different meanings that could be used entirely. Like laugh it up, it could literally just be laughing. You're gonna take away laughing? Whip crack? What if you had a cowboy skin? Make it plantain? Like, what's the issue with that? I see this getting instantly reversed because if they can reverse actual features after every chapter, I don't see why they wouldn't reverse something that the community actually hates. Next up, Pirate Software has announced that all of their U.S. employees are going to be getting full benefits, including medical-wise, retirement plan-wise, and they'll be given dental and life insurance. Now, obviously, you can't compare Pirate Software to any of the huge corporations like Disney. Not that I'm trying to dick ride all those execs with all the money they're getting. They could definitely pay their employees way more. But it is unrealistic to expect every single employee of Disney to get these benefits. But the fact that you could benefit from working for an indie company like this is really good for the market in general, as it's more incentive to not work for the big wigs and work for more independent people, which in turn creates more variety. Let's all just give a big hand to Pirate Software for doing this. Next up, the FTC has banned non-compete agreements. This means that, for example, if you worked for Marvel and then you got fired or you just left or your contract ended, you could then go and work for DC, and after 120 days, you could disclose anything you knew about Marvel to DC, even though DC is their competitor. And everyone's celebrating this, and I honestly don't know why. I feel like having secrets in your company, especially when you're competing with someone else, is vital for the market. Not so much for Marvel and DC, because they can't use each other's characters. So it's not like if DC heard that Marvel was making a Nova movie, for example, that they would have the ability to rush out a Nova movie first. But if you're thinking about in terms of restaurants, let's say that McDonald's heard about a new recipe that KFC was putting into their chicken. McDonald's could try and implement it first before it happened. I get that that's why there's the 120-day disclosure there, But who knows? Maybe it takes someone 120 days to fully make a recipe. And even if they didn't implement it first, they could still get a head start on copying the product, right? So it still kills variety in the market, which isn't good. For our last major story today, before some smaller ones, people are freaking out over Wendy's now using AI at their drive-thrus. And you know me, if you've seen any of my videos, my thoughts on how bad AI is. But I don't think it's a problem in this scenario. I really don't. Because all it's doing is making the Wendy's employees' life easier. Now, instead of having to take your order, they just have to give you your bag. Now, if this is going to take away the payment for the employees, then that's a problem. But there's the minimum wage for a reason, so they're already working a minimum wage job. The minimum wage isn't going to get any lower, or at least it shouldn't. And what do I know about economics? I'm just a fucking YouTuber. Now, to end off with a quick little goof, Elon Musk is wasting his time yet again making another useless new feature to Twitter, being a payment platform, and admitting that it's going to be similar to PayPal. So, dude, you were involved with PayPal, so just use PayPal.